Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I have a few different polls that I want to talk about and just break down and dissect. The first one that I want to start off with is from Speed Kicks on Twitter. You and your opponent both low HP. You're Tekken off the wall. Which one feels worse? Blocking low and dying to a mid, or blocking mid dying to a risky low? Now, 2,261 people voted on this, and it's almost split. 48.4% says eating the mid is worse. 51.6% says eating the low is worse. I want to read the two responses from Speed Kicks before I give my thoughts on this. The mathematical consistency on this poll is killing me. Talking about how close it is, back and forth, neck and neck it is. A little bit later, once the poll concludes, I don't know guys, donating the win to a man who risks nothing doesn't sit right with me. Game was going to continue, but he messed around and chose your own death. Take the low, make him make the read. And I kind of agree with Speed Kicks here, because Tekken 7 is such a offense heavy game. The mid in Tekken 7 is some of the most dangerous tools in the game. Like, for Tekken, the worst thing you can absolutely do is crouch. Hop kicks, counter hit mid launchers. Mids is so incredibly dangerous, and that's why going low and predicting that low and blocking it is such a feat, because out of all the things they could have done, all of these dangerous mids, they chose low and you predicted it. I would say, if I had to choose which one was worse. I mean, I get what Speed Kicks is saying here about the safe mid, because if you do block the safe mid, the match continues. You can't punish, you probably don't even get a turn. You probably still are eating that wall pressure and the match continues. But the risky low, you can launch, punish, and considering that you're low health yourself, you'll have access to your rage art, which means like your victory is kind of guaranteed. The only thing that makes me hesitate, that kind of got me going back and forth on which one is worse, because like I said, mids is some of the most dangerous tools in the game. And if your opponent is applying this mid pressure over and over and over, you're gonna be more aware of that. But then at the same time, if they sneak in a hell sweep or some risky low, if they conditioned you to stand the whole time, you basically just got outplayed. They conditioned you and then they executed. So that one sort of feels like there was a bunch of factors that played into your downfall. Now, if you flip it, if you die to the safe mid and you're blocking low, that one kind of feels like it's you in a sense, because considering what character it is, some characters have fast lows. Well, it says risky low. Yeah, that one's tough. Let me know what you guys think. Reading this poll, what would you say is worse? I think I would say the risky low, dying to that 51% is probably the one I would go with, because that one tells me that they're in your head. The dying to the mid, that one means that you tried to react, you tried to predict them, and you just guessed wrong, right? A 50-50 mix-up, you just got it wrong that time. But dying to the risky low, that means you had no chance at all. That was a cool poll to look at. Let's check out another one. What happens when a new Tekken comes out, but it does not include your character? If Tekken 8 comes out without your main character, what will you do? 1,761 votes on this. I thought a lot of people were going to be saying, oh, I stopped playing, because the whole thing with Tekken 7 and characters and DLC and all that stuff, people make a big fuss about their main characters, like Bruce, Baek-Doo-san, Christine. You guys know the typical names of characters that people sort of hound about. But at the same time too, all those people who yell about these characters, they still play Tekken. They may play a different character or something else, but even though their main characters aren't in the game, they still play. And I think that's kind of fascinating. One thing that I do want to say before I even dive into this poll, and this is something that I talk about on my stream kind of a lot. I think the fact that people always try to pressure the developers into bringing back these old legacy characters, I think at a certain point it's too much. At a certain point it's too far. In order for Tekken to continue to survive, to grow, we have to let the developers innovate, try new ideas, try new characters, come up with new designs. I think the Tekken community gets stuck in the past so much. We think about stages from the past, characters, all these different things. And I get nostalgia is very big, which is why I think in season 3 and season 4, they started doing half and half. Half legacy and half new characters, because the developers understand they gotta please that nostalgia factor, but at the same time they gotta keep moving forward. And in Tekken 8, I don't want the game to just be a combination of all the other games, 1 through 7, but like remastered or something. I want Tekken 8 to be new ideas, new characters. Even though some of the new characters in Tekken 7 is kind of obnoxious and or irrelevant, I still think there are a few shining examples of what the developers can do if they're given the ability, the option, able to. Claudio, in my opinion, is a really good character. Lucky Chloe, I used to hate on Lucky Chloe so much, but I appreciate that character more now. There's more characters, but let's look at this poll. The first one, 121 votes, stop playing. I feel like this is everyone's immediate response is to like rage and be upset and like, quit. But here's the thing about Tekken 7. Tekken 7 is like really like changed what Tekken is. It's huge now. It's so much bigger. When Tekken 8 comes out, it's going to be irresistible. 64 votes says we'll only play older versions. This one sounds good, right? Oh, I'll never play Tekken 8. I'll only play Tekken Tag 2 or Tekken 7 but like I said, Tekken 8 is going to be very irresistible. Like, just seeing how people reacted, getting a glimpse at Kazuya, seeing all of these characters look like that. That's why I think 975 votes, find a new main is a winner. Because if Tekken was truly as bad as everyone says, it wouldn't be doing it. It wouldn't survive for how long it has. This game really stood the test of time. If Yoshimitsu, my main, was not in the game, of course I would be kind of like hurt. I don't think I would be upset. I would be more so hurt. Like, wow, the first game Yoshimitsu was not in, I would be stunned. But I already have a handful of characters I would jump to. Kunimitsu, if Yoshimitsu's not in the game, Kunimitsu most certainly will be. But if not Kunimitsu, Dragunov, Brian Fury, Bob, Lars, there's so many other characters that I actually want to play or used to play in Tekken Tag Tournament 2, but in Tekken 7, I only dedicated my time to Yoshimitsu. And if he wasn't in Tekken 8, it would be like motivation for me to play some of these characters that I've always been eyeing but never tried, like Zhao Yu. I wanted to play Zhao Yu for so long, but I just never made the switch. I think this would be a good opportunity for people to explore the roster and find a new character to love. 555 votes, have 2 or more mains, so probably won't matter. I guess what I just said kind of falls into this category, but it's kind of different because Yoshimitsu is my only main. If you guys seen my live stream, or if you played against me in my live stream, you would know that as soon as I switch off Yoshimitsu, my skill takes a nosedive. I may know some strings here and there, but my knowledge as a player drops heavily, and I really just starts to rely on plus frames, setups and things of that sort, but very, very basic. Without Yoshimitsu, I'm a scrub. Even with Yoshimitsu, I'm a scrub. But now let's talk about the next poll. I did a poll similar to this one on my channel. If you guys haven't seen, I've been posting quite a few polls lately. If you haven't went and voted on each one of those, definitely you should, so you could just see the results and see what the community thinks. That's why I've been doing the polls, is just to get people's opinions. Yes or no, this or that. A little bit after I did my poll on how do you play Tekken, this poll popped up asking the same thing. How do you play Tekken? 1,138 votes. The odds is kind of similar to my poll. The only difference that I'm seeing here is the fight stick. Joystick and hitbox is a little bit bigger, and that tells me that more people on Reddit use fight sticks than possibly either the people who are subscribed to this channel, or I would just say YouTube as a whole. Maybe fight sticks and all those things is more popular on Reddit. And also keyboards is way bigger. I think keyboard is probably like double the size or something like that. But I just thought this was interesting. On my poll, I split controllers between D-pad and analog stick. And the reason why I did that is because, for those of you who don't know, I play Tekken with an analog stick. And when the live stream chat found out about that, it kicked up this big discussion, and everyone was saying how D-pads is better, more precise, this and that. And I just didn't believe it. I still don't believe it. I think analog is like a tiny Korean stick controlled by your thumb. I just think that is just so superior. But that discussion triggered that poll. So you guys go vote on that. Also leave a comment and whatnot. Be a part of the discussion. The last poll that I want to talk about, this one is specific to Fahkumram. 248 votes. Current Fahkumram, fair or still cheap? Most of the people say fair, some people say still cheap. This poll was actually done like I believe it was done like right before or right after he got nerfed. So I think if you do another poll like this, still cheap would be probably half. A lot more people realize how nerfed he really is. But at the same time, with the DLC getting nerfed, I feel like it's too little too late, right? Not just me, but the whole community was asking for the developers to nerf these DLC characters for years. And it's like after they got all the money and they basically milked everyone's pockets, then they're nerfing these characters. And I feel like that's so heartbreaking, because the game shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be, okay, let's put these things out there that's broken, overpowered, and then all of these characters just breaks the game. They destroys the rank. Like, I honestly think when they nerfed Fahkumram, Leroy, Kunimitsu, and Lita in 5.0, I think they should have reset the ranks again, because most of the people who got those ranks were using DLC characters. So it's like, what does that rank mean now? What does rank mean now with all of the characters who hold those top spots are now nerfed? Like, give it a couple more weeks. I'm pretty sure you're going to see a lot more Fangs and Master Ravens and Leos in those top sections. So I know I keep saying it, but that's really why I kind of disagree with buffing and nerfing of characters, because the ranks kind of become pointless in a way. We traded out overpowered DLC characters for Fang, Master Raven, Leo, Julia, stuff like that. So I don't know, I just want to mention this. 2 comments at the very top. Over nerfed for sure. I saw Main Man Sweet kind of say the same thing, but even still, he likes the character now. Under that says, I'd even say over nerfed, but I was probably used to him being OP. Isn't that crazy? Being used to a character being OP. And that's why when I used to criticize these characters, I used to get so much pushback. Lab the matchup, practice, do this, do that. Because people were used to how powerful these characters are. And now these characters got a taste of reality. And I haven't seen a Fahkumram since. I used to run across that character every session. But who knows, you know? But that's going to be it. I just want to talk about these different polls because I thought it was very fascinating. And I had a lot to say about each one of these. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Also leave a comment. Go vote on the other polls. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.